Hi everyone and welcome. I'm together with Anders Rønnebech, which is a very well-known face within the Danish customer experience landscape. Hi Anders.
Hi.
Can you give us an introduction to yourself?
Of course I can. My name is Anders Rønnebech. I've written a book called Jesus Christ is Just Customer Service, and Danish, Herregud, det er jo bare kundeservice, and it's really not. It's actually quite difficult to deliver on CX and customer service. I've been working with customer experience for around 15 years, and I consider myself as being a tool maker of tools applicable for CX purposes which are able to be scalable, because that's one of the problems today is that most of the things we're talking about are wow experiences. We're talking about all these glory cases there are in the world, and it's fine. It's always nice to talk about a teddy bear who got lost in a hotel, got photographed by the staff, and then they're sending it out. But are they doing that every time the teddy bear gets lost? No. We need to make it scalable, and we need to work together with technology and human psychology. And connecting those two elements is the modern battleground of CX.
Very interesting. We're happy to have an expert like yourself with us today. Can you elaborate a little bit on the evolution of customer experience in terms of where it has been till now, 2023, right?
Yes, it's been an interesting development because it's now really at a top level focus. So the top level management are really focused on doing CX, where before it used to be a little bit part of maybe the marketing department, but now it's coming into its own. So you're getting CXOs out there now. But actually, I was on a conference last year. 2,000 people were in the room. I gave a keynote speak, and I asked all CX managers or directors, and I asked them, how many of you guys out there have a CXO in the top level management group? 3 people raised their hands, and then I said, okay, of the 3 people in the room who's really embedded at the top, how many of them has budget? How many of them have money to throw into the game, or else it's just a party hat if you don't have money, because it requires strategy equals investments. You need to invest, and there were none of them who could say that they have a budget. So there's still a long way to go, but as I see it, CX will be more technology driven, and it's getting more and more technology driven, but we need to combine the human factor with technology, because everybody working with technology are also maybe making a bit of an overpromise. It's like paper were going to disappear from the modern office. It never really did. It's like it takes a lot of effort to maintain these systems we're working with. So really putting in the resources into AI and technology, not just for a one-off and then it works for a little while and then you don't calibrate the machine. So we need to really work with technology and the human factor side by side.
Very interesting, especially when you talk about the interplay between data and people and how we can use technology, artificial intelligence to create better customer experiences. Can you tell me how is voice involved in this? So we consider at EnReach voice being the main channel, the preferred channel of the customer.
Yeah, me too.
So tell us, how do you use voice in a technology sense?
Yeah, one of the things that I'm currently working with Japro and with their Engage AI engine and with others is that some of the discoveries I've made with data from my own invention called PGAP, which is that the employee needs to self-evaluate what do I think the customer is going to give me of a score on the NPS scale. So I might think you're going to give me a 10, but if you give me a 0, we have a huge perception gap. And looking at those perception gaps, it was very, very obvious that when people get angry on the phone in a voice setting, in a customer experience setting, they don't get loud. Only in 25% of all dissatisfied 0 customers who gives me a 0 or the employee a 0, only in 25% of the cases are people able to figure that out, because anger on voice equals silence. So when the customer starts getting less verbal, fewer words, and getting silent and shutting down, that's a unique sign. But the agent will not hear this. They need to be nudged by the AI saying, Houston, you got a problem? The customer is not talking very much. He might be angry, because you can't focus on processes and what you need to do in the call, and also everything about the psychology part. It's too difficult juggling those 2 balls at the same time. It's way too difficult for the employee. So we need to take some of the psychology from the softer side of CX and putting it into the hardcore systems and making the system better at supporting the agent in doing a better job.
So here's a tricky question for you. Do you believe that we can replace all human interaction with a bot?
No, I don't believe so. Not in my lifetime anyhow. We're very, very far from it. I've been dabbling a bit with ChatGPT. It's great to summarize a call, and I'm pretty impressed by it, but it is what it is. It can count words. It cannot operate with feelings, and as long as humans has feelings, voice will never disappear. We need warm touch points, but we need to prioritize where do we use our muscle, our warm relationship muscles, where are they to be flexed in the customer journey, and where do we put in the AIs to support and make it easier for the customer? Because customers want easy, but they really want empathy when something goes wrong, and a bot is not able to deliver on empathy at all.
So using technology as a complementary tool,
yes, exactly,
to help agents create better customer experience. That's your take on it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Anders, for sharing your insights with us today.
A